Yo, this is Lefty. I'm here doing the video for the Bernard Hopkins versus Joe Smith, the main event. It's Bernard Hopkins' last fight, a very, very long career. And Bernard Hopkins is supposedly done after this fight at 51 years old. Who could blame him? Anyway, let's get into this fight. So, Joe Smith Jr., he's a prototypical front foot fighter. He's going to look to press the issue. And he's got some flaws. He does not have an authoritative jab. He doesn't have the feint game that's going to require Bhop to be on his defensive. And we'll get into that part in a minute. But he doesn't have the feint game. He doesn't have the authoritative jab. He looks to slug in there. I think he's unless Bhop is totally shot, he's going to be Bhop has made a career out of beating guys like Joe Smith. Okay, you can go right down the line. Glenn Johnson, Tito Trinidad, and on and on and on. Tavares Cloud, everybody. So unless Bhop just got totally shot since the Kovalev fight, I think that he's going to be able to coast to a decision. Anyhow, Joe Smith is a front foot fighter. He hits hard. He has no feints to his game. He goes to the body, really good. He goes to the head fine. Bhop is going to look to show him angles. He's going to look to turn him. He's going to look to move whenever he can. And the main thing in this fight is that Joseph Smith does not have the educated pressure that Kovalev brought to Bhop. That type of those type of feints and jabs to make Bhop go from one position to a secondary defensive position to go back on the ropes. That type of offensive game, Joe Smith doesn't have. So I look for Bhop to counter in between Joe Smith's wide shots and to move when he needs to. And once again, I said before, to get the decision. Joe Smith just doesn't have the offensive game that Kovalev does. I think that that's huge. You need to be active when fighting Bernard Hopkins, and you need to be able to feint him out of position, because he's not going to look to counter you. He's going to look to be defensive, and he's only going to go for countering opportunities when he knows that he's safe. And Joe Smith, he just does not have the offensive game, the type of offensive game required. The dude is a slugger. It's just not going to happen. There's a reason why Joe Smith is there, and it's because Bernard Hopkins doesn't plan on losing. He doesn't plan on losing his last fight. So look for a wide unanimous decision, and look for Bernard Hopkins to coast at the age of 51 in his last fight as a light heavyweight, the same division that he started his career at. And he went from losing his first fight as a light heavyweight to being the middleweight champ and the best middleweight champ since Marvin Hagler, and to going up to 175 to fight Antonio Tarver after he lost to Jermaine Taylor. Look for the living legend to turn back the clock once again. As a 51-year-old, look for him to cruise to a unanimous decision. And it's going to be a good, I don't expect it to be action-packed. It's going to be a Bernard Hopkins fight, but I don't blame him. I usually like aggressive fighters, but the dude's 51. So whatever he does is going to be fine for me. So, this is Lefty. Have a good holiday. I'll see you in 2017. We got a packed schedule for the first 3 months of 2017. So you're going to be seeing a lot of me. Have a good day. Peace.